Yeah, so the usual formal sitting meditation we've just done, it's like, actually it's an artificial laboratory. It's artificial in a way that knows how life works, in a way that we are pausing any project, any thinking about stuff. Thoughts still come, but we are intentionally taking a vacation from engaging with the mind or the world. And somehow it's an important practice, because we can have a taste of when the mind slows down and the nervous system relaxes and the mind quiets down. We can have a taste of this kind of aware peace. And usually all day, every day, we're just like busy externally, internally. So having a little bit of a period of allocated to just this being present, or witnessing, or tuning, resting as awareness, as they call. It's important, especially at the beginning and for quite a long time, to have like retreat on the island. You know, Buddha called it like take refuge in awareness, take refuge, island of the self. So it's important to have it, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. 10 minutes is also great, 12 minutes. So I highly recommend this practice of allocating a little bit of time. In some traditions, twice a day, an hour, or once a day, an hour, or once a day, 30 minutes, or even 15 minutes. Yeah, so I highly recommend that. And now, this being said, this is artificial. That's not how life works. And often that will get crowded out. And then basically we need to bring this in our everyday life, in activity, while we interact with the world. That from one angle, it's even more important. Find a way to bring this sense of being present, being aware of the inner world, outer world, during our everyday life. It's essential. Otherwise, our inner work will be compartmentalized. Oh, so I'm meditating here, I'm groovy, and then there I'm running like a chicken without a head, or like an Energizer bunny. And so just this finding, it helps to make little exercises for ourselves, because we'll forget. So we have decades of momentum of losing ourselves. Also, by the way, we don't really know what the self is. So we're not going to get into this now, but we're so habitually used to being lost in daydreaming or all the time activity. So having these mini breaks, when there's a free moment, or even like taking a minute or so, rather than pull out the phone, or finding some busyness to take a mini break, to come back to the present. Just be. With the eyes open, actually. It's very cool to practice with the eyes open. Another way is that to try to introduce this in, if we put some exercises or aims, have some aims for ourselves to introduce it in this routine, everyday inconspicuous moments, like driving or walking, then it will carry itself out. So, these are in the fourth way path in Gurdjieff Uspensky work. That was very important. And I mean, in every path it should be like that. It's to make the work practical. And Another exercise would be, so yeah, when you drive, to, instead of being somewhere else, to really, be aware of course, we need to pay attention. Yeah, actually it's for safety, but to even some exercise one can have is that you have a usual route. We all have the usual routes to have exercise for oneself. Okay, so from here to the town hall, or from here to there, even like 5-10 minutes. I'm driving, the body's driving by itself anyway. And my job is to just be like a child, kind of looking and noticing thoughts, not going along with them, watching the breath, whatever, to be consciously there. Or when we walk, especially now there are leaves and the colors. So it's a very good exercise called the looking exercise, basically using seeing as an anchor into the present. So the way it goes to kind of look, again, like a child, look at the color, don't go into associations. The mind will say, oh yeah, that's cool. I remember this when I was in, Canada 2 years ago, it was like that, or, oh wow, that's cool. So watch for the tendency. We are seeing something and the mind comes with an association, and then we are off we go. So the looking exercise is, again, from the fourth way to be implemented in life. Like looking at some tree for a few seconds and being aware, being here, looking at a tree, not going to imagination, look at something else, look at the cloud. Don't go too fast. An obstacle to this presence in activity is this rushing. So slow it down. You don't have to be all the time like that, like being like slow, but just a little bit from time to time. And you will see that the more you remember to engage in this practice, then later it will remind itself up, it will activate itself up. You might have already noticed that. You're not thinking about presence or witnessing, and you're going about your day, and you'll be like, you are now present. They say, draw near to God, and she will draw near to you. Meaning, draw near to presence, be interested in presence, and then the presence will activate itself. Finding ways to make it practical and for busy life. A very good exercise is actually when you go to the bathroom for the usual activities. Because usually we go and sit there and we are never there somehow because it's just boring and I have things to do, whatever. But that's a great moment. It's like a little resting. So let the body do what it does and just be, use it as a mini meditation. Or shower. Often we're in the shower and we are just thinking about everything. And actually, we are missing the pleasure of the shower. I don't know if you guys saw that there was some that movie City of Angels.
Yes.
With what was the actor? Nicolas Cage. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's a very nice movie. He was like Nicolas Cage was an angel, and then he was assigned to look, watch for humanity, whatever, and he falls in love with this woman, and he says, "Man, I want to become a human." And then there was a way to do that. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but somehow he decides to have a body and all that, and to be with this woman. And there was this wonderful scene. I remember that now it's him there, and then he has a shower, and he's like, oh, he was so very aware of the every little drip and all of that, and he would go outside, and he was like, because it was free from the mind, free from the ego. It was the idea that actually will be pleasurable. It may seem at the beginning as some chore. Oh, I need to do my mindfulness or something. But if you're really interested, you will be rewarded. There will be more pleasure of life, more. And that is why kids are happy initially, if they're in a safe environment and all that, they're like, they're open. It's just open. They don't have ego, comment, controlling, not good enough, whatever. So it's just the experience of life is very pleasurable. Of course, unless they have bad parents or whatever, stressed out parents, traumatized parents, they're not bad parents. It's just pain body. So this way we are kind of reclaiming this. We are reclaiming this innocence of perceiving. Yeah, so I wanted to speak about that. And also you can, as you come to the group, let it start before you come to the group. When you start driving, somehow, or walk a little slower, so that this way it becomes much more sustainable in everyday life. We are not monks, like it's very special, and I've done it, and I recommend you guys do it sometimes, to go to some meditation retreat where you meditate all day, or in Zen they do meditation, then walking meditation, sitting, walking, no talking. So after a few hours, it's like something special is happening in a way that our mind is like slows down, so we are more into our presence, and it's much more like yummy. Yeah, so usually monks, there's like somehow rejection of the world or isolating from stimuli and focusing a lot on just consciousness work and presence and stuff. But that's not what we are. That's why we need to, life is our honest. So walking with presence, and also, another thing is this eating thing, eating. On all of this, like walking or seeing or listening, I can have a whole topic on that. So now I'm going really broad, but this thing of eating, usually in sleep, we are eating, not tasting, and thinking about something else. And being fast, there's this called feeding frenzy. The animal self is like, so basically swallowing or putting in the mouth and not being present to it, and then still chewing and putting some more in the mouth. So this momentum of, and we've done this for a long time, so it's hard to interrupt this momentum. But we can have these alarm clocks. In the fourth way, they were called alarm clocks, or exercises to remind oneself of being presence work, and to not, the one exercise would be to slow down and to really stay present to the taste, not go in imagination, or to not to go for another spoonful until I finished what is in the mouth. Yeah, so play with it, and we can share next time.